Hey there, students. Here's a video to show you what it's like to go through the Proctorio setup process and take an exam using Proctorio. So we're going to start by opening up Chrome. And the first thing you want to do is, on a particular tab, sign in to your Pearson account. And when you are signed into your Pearson account, then you can change to a different tab and go to our class in Canvas. So I'm entering into our class in Canvas as a student. I'm actually enrolled as a student here, so this is the student view. And then you'll find the Proctorio exams under modules, and our fourth module set is where the Proctorio exams are. And I'm going to click on Final Exam. So then you get the Canvas quiz page, and this title shows that this is to be remotely proctored. And if, for example, it wasn't available at this point because you were before the window where you're allowed to take this, you'll be able to see when it's available up here, how long you have for the Canvas part of the quiz. And I'll point out that the Canvas time limit is a half hour longer than you have for the exam in My Stat Lab, so that you can take your time going through the setup process, even if the clock has started ticking in Canvas. You still have an extra half hour of time above and beyond the time you have to actually take the test in My Stat Lab. So in the instructions, it says you're going to click on a link in the question to start your exam in My Stat Lab. And that there's a password given in the question that you'll use to go into the My Stat Lab test. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it. And so this says we're about to begin the Proctorio exam pre-checks. So let's start those. So it's checking to make sure Proctorio has access to the things it needs. It'll ask you to share their screen with Proctorio so you can record. They can record it. You click on the screen and you hit share. Now you can see here it says Proctorio is sharing your screen. So to be clear, don't click on stop sharing. That's necessary. If you do that, you will invalidate the exam. You need to allow Proctorio to keep sharing your screen and recording it while you are taking the exam. You can hide this little indicator if you want, but don't click on stop sharing. So then it says, okay, we've gone through the pre-checks. We're about to get started. You can use the restroom now if you want, before you want to get ready, but we're all set to go. So I'm ready, so I'm going to click next. Now it begins by wanting the photo ID. I'm going to pretend I'm showing my camera a photo ID. And you have to sort of set it in here until it's happy enough to take a picture. Hopefully this doesn't have to take too long normally. There we go. Okay, and hopefully you've got a good picture of your photo ID, and if not, retake it so you don't invalidate the test. My Best Buy card would definitely invalidate my test, but I'm going to accept this and begin now. So now it takes you back to the quiz page, and what's revealed after you've gone through the Proctorio process is the link to the exam, and this is where the password is. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this password. And so when I click on this, it will take me over to my Stat Lab to start the test. I'll give the password over there, and we'll start the test. And once I start it over there, the 90-minute clock will then begin to tick. When I'm done over there, I will submit the exam in my Stat Lab, and I'll come back here, and then when I should also submit the quiz here so that I can stop the Proctorio process at that point. But let's go on ahead and jump in. So it says you're going to navigate away. That's okay. So now it wants that password that I just saw, so I'm going to paste that in there. And so now it's preparing to start the exam in My Stat Lab. This is the actual test. Here you'll have to begin working. And when you start this one, that's when the 90-minute clock begins. It says here you have 90 minutes left to complete this. So I would start the test. So here's the first question on my final exam. And you would work the problems in here. Again, you can navigate around anywhere. There's 25 questions in here. There's a clock up here ticking away with my 90 minutes. And I would go through the test. And let's just make sure we think things are functioning nicely. If I go on StatCrunch here to help me do this problem, I can try to go over there. There's StatCrunch, so I'll be able to enter information from the problem, work it in StatCrunch, type in my answers, go through the normal process. Anyway, so I would finish taking the exam, and hopefully I would do that before time has run out, but either way, I'm going to submit my test. Yeah, I didn't do any of the problems. So it's going to show me I didn't do any of the problems, but I'm done. So now that I've submitted and I get this screen, I have completed, I can see what my score is. I spent 43 seconds to get this 0, etc. You can gather this information here, but when you're done, then you want to go back over to Proctorio Canvas, and then hit Submit Quiz over here to stop the quiz in Canvas.